Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to present some results of our HIV prevention efforts among Siberian GMT individuals. But first of all, I would like to use this opportunity to say my heart is sorrowful because of tragedy with the flight MH17 in the Ukrainian sky last week. I'm very sorry about victims of this unspeakable crime, and I feel myself partly guilty for this loss because, as a Russian citizen, I am responsible for such an irresponsible government, and I ask to forgive me. Russia has a huge territory. It unites a lot of different communities, a lot of different opinions. So please do not judge all Russian people. I testify my heart and hearts of many of my friends with you, as well as with our Ukrainian friends and colleagues. Just today, our voice is weak and our power is less, unfortunately. But we love our country and intend to continue efforts to get it better. So now I would like to describe our local project titled the Pulsar Power of Evidence. I had the purpose to increase health behavior regarding HIV/STI among GMT. The project's objectives were increase of awareness about HIV transmission routes and risk reduction methods, growth of numbers of GMT individuals who follow the norms of safe sex, and increase access of GMT to HIV/STI testing and treatment. The project was implemented by the team of a grassroots community organization, Center Sibalt, in the city of Omsk, Russia, from December 2012 to November 2013. Omsk is the second largest city in Siberia. Its population is 1.1 million people. First HIV case was registered in 1996. Today, the HIV prevalence among general population is 0.4%. Estimated size of the local group of GMT is 10,000 people. HIV prevalence among GMT community members is 3.2% according to data of 2013. It is 8 times more than among general population. The project's main beneficiaries were GMT individuals who periodically, at least once per month, visit local GMT places, discos or community center. So estimated number of the target group is 300 persons. We focused on this group based on 2 criteria, the most at risk and accessibility. The project provided following key interventions: HIV educational workshops and trainings for community members and leaders, outreaching in the local nightclubs, meetings with the healthcare providers for establishment and development of contacts for GMT-friendly services, male latex condoms and water-based lubricants providing, voluntary and confidential HIV counseling and testing by salivary rapid test, and STI treatment as referral service. Duration of intervention was 12 months. For monitoring of coverage and intensity of activities, we used the self-developed online monitoring tool, the Pulse system, available on www.pulsesystem.ru. Our intervention was selected to study as a part of the AMFAR's Evidence and Action Program. For evaluation of success of interventions, user-based and online surveys were conducted by external evaluator. As a result of educational component of the project, the target group awareness about HIV transmission routes and ways of prevention has grown significantly by 34.3%. For evaluation, the UN GAS indicative questions were used for the survey in the survey questionnaire. But the level of condom use slightly decreased from 49.6 to 41.3%. We suggest that possible reason is the trend of strategy of monogamy and zero sorting. We marked increase of permanent partnerships from 67.1 to 72.7% and reducing the number of sexual partners. This dynamics has been also confirmed by additional interviews with some GMT community members. Access to HIV testing and counseling has increased significantly. Almost 77% of respondents reported that they got HIV tests during last 12 months. But the main challenge we've encountered in the Russian federal anti-gay propaganda law started last year. It declared social exclusion of same-sex relationships, led to worsening stigma and marginalization of GMT. They become more fearful and starting to avoid visiting LGBT places and showing their identity for service providers. It would be illustrated by the fact that among people covered by our service, every third keeps their sexuality as a top secret from anyone who is not a gay. Besides of this, today's Siberian LGBT teenager, as all other LGBT teenagers of Russia, has lost access to HIV-related information and services because the new legislation punishes distribution of information about so-called non-traditional sexual relations, information that could reach people aged less 18. And finally, new legislation stimulates new suicides and new wave of violence against LGBT. When I say about this, I think about my friend who got to the hospital bed after hitting the back of the head. He had just went on a date using internet dating service. I think about Vladislav Tarnovoy in Volgograd, who was brutally tortured, beaten, raped by a beer bottle, and finally murdered by stone smashing of his head, just only for suspicion that he is gay. It happened last year. And I think about my lovely partner Nikolai, who was discharged from military service just after a report disclosed that he lives with a man like a family. Our main conclusions. Zero sorting and monogamy strategies are possibly consequences of rising awareness about HIV/AIDS combined with broad access to testing and treatment. Therefore, prevention programs should include the promotion of complex of preventive strategies, not just using condoms. But today, we cannot affirm that we will adequately implement the obtained project results in future efforts due to negative impact of the Russian anti-gay legislation. This challengeable time, I'd like to express my appreciations to my colleagues, our previous and current donors and partners for their support that give us hope in better and healthy future for all members of our GMT community. And if you once travel to Siberia, enjoy your stay. Thank you.